Chapter 21 Front Door and Back Door. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The next day, it was just dawn. Fang Yue woke up, he woke up ergo, and the two went to the backyard to fetch water and wash. The two began to stand still. It takes years to practice, so we can't slack off. Tomorrow after tomorrow, how many tomorrows there are. However, at this moment, in the attic in front of the backyard, Zhang Boyang and Fang Hu stood in front of the window. It's really a good talent. No wonder junior brother wants to accept a disciple. Even I like it when I see it. Zhang Boyang said with a serious face. However, he didn't want to be like this, but if you look closely, you can see that his lips are abnormally red and swollen, and it's not so conspicuous because he has to force himself to purse them. Senior brother, you are too kind. They are still not as good as Shu'er. With Shu'er's talent, she will definitely be extraordinary in the future. Puff. Hearing senior brother praising Fang Yue's talent, Fang Hu naturally felt a little proud, but at this time, his eyes were always looking at Zhang Boyang's face, and his face was shaking, and it looked more like he was forcing himself to hold back his laughter, which was a little red inside. Junior brother, laugh if you want to. At this time, Zhang Boyang naturally saw Fang Hu's appearance. He knew what was wrong with his junior brother, and his face immediately turned cold, and he said in a low voice, Junior brother, how uncomfortable it is to hold back your laughter. Just happen to be free today. Senior brother, please give me some pointers on your kung fu. As he spoke, he pressed towards Fang Hu. Obviously Fang Hu's figure was taller, stronger and more rugged, but he was actually inferior to the other party in terms of momentum. No, junior brother, I admit defeat. Senior brother, don't do it, I have to go see master later. Fang Hu retreated again and again, and naturally he would not compete with his senior brother who had a stronger cultivation. At this time, Zhang Boyang was angry. This senior brother was a daughter slave, and he didn't dare to get angry at his daughter, the instigator, but it's okay to vent your anger on him. Thinking of Zhang Boyang being fed a big bowl of chili by his Shu'er, the spicy martial arts candidate who was almost at the stage of changing his marrow screamed in front of him. Fang Hu couldn't help laughing again. Oh, senior brother, you really hit me. Don't hit me, senior brother, I promise not to laugh at you. Puff, really not laughing. Soon, Fang Yue and Fang Erge finished their morning exercise. Today's intensity is not too great, because Fang Yue will follow Fang Hu to do business later. Go to the White Tiger Fist to meet the elders of the sect, so that you can officially enter, be recognized, and learn the real White Tiger Fist. Ergu, you stay at your uncle Zhang's house today. I will take your brother Yu to the White Tiger Fist gym. Don't make trouble here, listen to your sister. Fang Hu gave instructions, and then took Fang Yue away from Zhang Boyang's house. There were only two people, and they were lightly packed and had a very fast speed. Soon they arrived in front of a courtyard near the inner city wall. This place obviously looked a bit old, with mosses crawling on the brick walls in the shade, and some succulents growing on the grey tiles on the roof. As soon as he arrived in front of the gate, Fang Yue saw a man who looked like a gatekeeper, lazily leaning there to bask in the sun. He saw Fang Hu and the other man, and just glanced at them sideways without any movement. When Fang Hu and Fang Yue came over, he stood up reluctantly, pointing to the small path on the side. Brother Fang, it's really unfortunate. The gate should not be opened in the middle today. Please go through the back door. His tone was lazy, his eyes were contemptuous, and he felt that he didn't take people seriously. Well, to be honest, it was a bit of a dog's eye looking down on people. Fang Yue stood behind Fang Hu and clearly saw that Fang Hu's strong body trembled slightly, and his rough palms clenched, but soon relaxed. Obviously, Fang Hu's heart was not calm at the moment. Follow me. Then, Fang Hu did not say anything and took Fang Yue to the side path. Fang Yue had just arrived, and Fang Hu did not say anything. He could only follow Fang Hu to the side path. However, Fang Yue could also see that it was impossible for an apprentice to visit his master through the back door. He should go through the main door. Tap tap. Should at this moment, two horses galloped over and rushed directly to the gate of the White Tiger boxing gym. Hey, isn't this senior brother Wang? Please wait a moment, I will open the door for you, you can just ride in directly. Fang Yue looked at this scene, the gatekeeper who was arrogant, contemptuous, and looked down on them just now. At this time, he actually fawned on the two people who came on horseback, like a dog leg, even, he did not let them go through the main door, he actually let the two people ride in. Comparing the two, it is really a world of difference. Immediately, Fang Yue stopped looking and turned around the corner. Junior brother Chen, two people just walked over there. I think one of them seems to be junior brother Fang. Is it him? That the gate opened, and Wang Yuangang rode on his horse and retracted his gaze towards the corner. Let senior brother Wang know that it is Fang Hu. The doorman replied happily. Oh, it's really him. Then, Wang Yuangang rode his horse into the courtyard through the main gate, White Tiger Boxing Gym. In the main hall, the contemporary White Tiger Boxing Gym owner, Mr. Zheng, with gray hair and beard, sat on the master's chair. Yuangang, is this your nephew? Not bad, he has excellent qualifications and has entered the sect. He can be included in the sect. Let him kowtow 3 times to the ancestor and burn incense, and he will be considered as an entry. Let the second brother teach him. Zheng Lao looked at Wang Yuangang with a kind and amiable face. Wang Yuangang nodded and motioned the young man in tight clothes beside him to come forward. Wang Ting knelt in front of the cushion, saluted respectfully to the portrait of the ancestor and burned incense, then he offered tea to Zheng Lao, and finally kowtowed to a middle-aged man beside Zheng Lao. Zheng Lao is old. Although his cultivation is still the highest in White Tiger Fist, he is old and weak, lacks energy, and no longer teaches apprentices. Now the main face of White Tiger Fist is Zheng Lao's second apprentice, Chen Tong, who has completed the marrow change and entered the inner strong state. After completing the apprenticeship ceremony, everyone in the hall naturally congratulated the uncle and nephew of the Wang family. As an elder, he also gave some gifts to Wang Teng. At this time, a disciple came in to report. Master, brother Fang who brought his nephew and said he wanted to visit you and take him in as a disciple. Zheng Lao nodded when he heard this. Well, I see. I'm a little tired. You can handle this matter with Lao air. Yes, master. Chen Tong bowed slightly and watched Zheng Lao leave. Second brother, I have something else to do. I'll leave first. Yes, I'm still boiling medicine at home. I'll leave first. In the hall, 4 or 5 people said goodbye to Chen Tong and left. Please read it again. It's very important to read it again today. Whether you will come to recommend it this week depends on today. Please read it again. Chapter 22, Become a Disciple, please read. You are listening at novelfull.audio. White Tiger Boxing Gym. On the side of the main hall, Fang Hu and Fang Yue are waiting here. They took the back door and were naturally much slower than the Wang family uncles and nephews who rode in directly from the front door, and after they came in, they found out that the uncle and nephew of the other party were also looking for their master to become their disciples, so, the 2 of them can only wait now. The owner of the White Tiger Boxing Gym is my master Mr. Zheng. You must be more respectful when you enter. When you meet someone, remember to salute. Fang Hu told Fang Yue the rules and some details. Just as he was talking, he saw some people walking out of the main hall. Some of the faces were familiar and they were former classmates, but these people didn't seem to see him, nor did they look here. He talked to himself and left with a smile. After waiting for a while, a disciple called Fang Hu to come in. Fang Yue, wait here first. After saying that, Fang Hu entered the main hall. Although I was a little confused as to why he was asked to fall in alone, this was obviously not the time to ask. It's important to do business first, and after finishing the business, you have to rush back. It's hundreds of miles back and forth, and the road is not smooth, so it's better to go back early. Second senior brother, Fang Hu first saluted Chen Tong with clasped fists. After completing the etiquette, Fang Hu asked again, second senior brother, where is the master? Master is tired today and is resting. No one is around. Chen Tong's tone was calm, and there was no fluctuation in his eyes when he looked at Fang Hu. He was looking at a stranger, full of distance. Junior brother Fang is here to recruit a disciple. Yes, my nephew has a decent talent and a desire to be a martial artist, so I want to take him in and teach him. Fang Hu nodded and said quickly. Chen Tong pondered for a moment, then looked at Fang Hu. however, junior brother Fang, do you know that I, the official disciple of White Tiger Fist, can only accept one in your current situation. If you are sure to accept him, then you can't pass the White Tiger Fist on to your son. Oh, this is the new rule set by the master. We in this generation must accept disciples according to their cultivation base. Based on your cultivation base, can only accept one official disciple. That's why I asked you to come in alone. As soon as he finished speaking, Chen Tong picked up the tea next to him and blew the tea gently without waiting for Fang Hu's answer. Should I choose my son or my nephew? Which one is close and which one is far away can be known without comparing. It's not hard to choose, but it's not easy either. As for asking other juniors of White Tiger Fist to recruit another disciple, it is also possible, but it will also occupy other people's places, and who will help for no reason. Naturally, he does not have this restriction, but he will definitely not accept Fang Hu's son or nephew. Fang Hu's qualifications are average. What kind of talents can his younger disciples have? Even if they have talents, they will be wasted due to lack of nutrition all year round. Therefore, how could he accept this kind of disciple who is destined to have limited achievements in the future? Second senior brother, I understand this. Fang Hu took a deep breath and hesitated for a moment, unable to make a decision. In the past, White Tiger Fist disciples could accept 3 disciples, but they didn't expect that the rules would be changed this time. Restricting disciples from accepting disciples is the proper intention. If there are no restrictions and disciples can accept as many disciples as they want, vicious competition may arise. After all, the number of people who can learn martial arts is limited. If we let the door open to accepting disciples, we would be able to learn the true teachings without even going to the boxing gym, and the boxing gym would simply not be able to sustain itself. However, this change now really puts Fang Hu in a dilemma. He took a deep breath and soon his eyes became firm. Second senior brother, I have thought about it and decided to accept my nephew. Well, okay, now that it's decided, let him come in. Chen Tong didn't try to persuade him and just asked someone to invite Fang Yue. After a stick of incense, Fang Hu took Fang Yue out of the White Tiger boxing gym, of course through the back door. Come in through the back door and leave through the back door. He left without disturbing many people. Master Fang Hu, shall we go back now? Fang Yue followed Fang Hu and asked softly. He also noticed that Fang Hu seemed to be in a very low mood after coming out of the White Tiger boxing gym. Well, go back to Uncle Zhang's house, take Ergu and Zhang Shu with you, Fang Hu replied calmly. You want to take senior sister Zhang with you? Will she go back with us? Fang Yue asked. Zhang Shu wants to follow them to Daliashu village. What's going on? Daliashu village is a remote place. The environment is much worse than that of Xiahe County. The other party's family is wealthy, so eating meat here is nothing, and if you go to Daliashu village, you can only eat flour cakes and wild vegetables. This young lady can bear the poor life, although Fang Yue could also see that senior sister Zhang Shu did not have the problems of a spoiled young lady from a rich family. He did not think that she could endure such hardship, so, why did Zhang Shu follow them to Daliashu village? It's not like Master Zhang wants his daughter to experience life in the countryside. Yes, Zhang Shu will go back with us. Your uncle Zhang will be away on business for 3 months during this period. If you are worried about leaving your senior sister at home alone, let her follow us for a while first. Fang Hu explained. Fang Yue nodded, indicating that he understood, so that's why, no wonder the rich lady followed them to Daliashu village. The next day, it was dawn, in front of Zhang's house. Dad, I will never make you angry again, can you let Shuer stay? Zhang Shu looked at Zhang Boyang with red eyes. Nonsense, you will come back after 3 months, who said you are not needed, just talking nonsense here. Zhang Boyang frowned and didn't look at Zhang Shu crying, thinking of what he was going to do. He couldn't leave his daughter here alone. If the news leaked out, his daughter would be in danger, so, even if he was reluctant, he had to be cruel. However, he still took out a purse and handed it to his daughter. Dad, are you angry with me? I will never put chili in rice again. Get out, It would have been better if he didn't mention this. Zhang Shu just mentioned it. Zhang Boyang was furious. Zhang Shu put so many chilies in the bowl of rice that his lips were still a little red and swollen. They say that daughters are like little cotton padded jackets. but his daughter must be leaking. Zhang Boyang was about to take action after swearing, however, Zhang Shu had already dodged to the side at this moment. Dad, I will follow Master Fang and leave first. You take care of yourself. The tears on Zhang Shu's face had long gone away, except that her eyes were still a little red. It was impossible to tell when she had cried, please read on, please read on. Chapter 23 I Won't Be Fooled, Seeking Recommendation Votes. You are listening at novelfull.audio. You change your face so quickly. Seeing this scene, Fang Yue knew that Zhang Shu's separation and death was all acting, but it seemed so sincere before. If it wasn't for the mention of the bowl of rice later, I'm afraid they wouldn't be able to tell. Quirky, dark, and good at acting. In an instant, Fang Yue added several labels to this girl who was about the same age as him, but entered the sect earlier than him, and was considered his senior sister. Well, it seems that with Zhang Shu on the way back, I'm afraid I won't be lonely and bored. I've been away for 5 days. When I came with excitement. When I left, I was eager to go home. It took only more than a day to walk to the river bank where I camped for the first time. When I came, after all, there were only some medicinal herbs on the donkey cart, which was much lighter. The speed was naturally much faster. According to the current walking speed, it was only more than half a day's journey from here to Daliashu village. However, it was almost dark now. It was too dangerous to travel at night, so we could only camp here. Master, I'll go catch some fish, and we'll have grilled fish tonight. After setting up the camp, Fang Yue took the initiative to step forward. Although the water level of Xiahe River had dropped a lot, the width of this river bay had also become narrower than the last time we camped here, only 3 feet wide, but it did not affect fishing. Knowing Fang Yue's skills, Fang Hu nodded and told him to be careful. Immediately, Fang Yue found tools, cut a suitable bamboo from the bamboo forest beside the road, and then made a simple fishing rod. After digging some earthworms and finding a grass for nesting, Fang Yue came to the river. This place is a little distance from the camping place, and as long as the voice is not loud, Fang Hu and Fang Ergu will definitely not hear it. At this point, Zhang Shu, who had been pretending to be a lady all the way, was exposed. Hey, brother. You poor little bastard, you know how to fish. Can you catch fish this way? You can catch fish with just some grass and earthworms. It's really a poor way of fishing. You will definitely not catch fish. Zhang Shu stood beside Fang Yue, watching Fang Yue's movements, and then looked at the turbid river water in front of her. She was very skeptical that Fang Yue could catch fish with just these simple things. She was at the age of being lively and active, chattering in front of Fang Yue. She forgot that she wanted to use the bowl of chili rice to plot against Fang Yue before, and she might not know that Fang Yue had seen her movements before. Therefore, Fang Yue was very cautious about this woman. Hush, be quiet when fishing. You are so loud that you will scare the fish away. Fang Yue quickly stopped Zhang Shu, who was shouting and asking questions. This woman's mouth is unforgiving. Although her voice is pleasant, the content is not pleasant to listen to. Humph, if you don't want to talk, then don't talk. What's so great about it? Zhang Shu snorted coldly, looking up at Fang Yue with her exquisite and beautiful little bust. Then she came to the river bank not far away, stretched out her hand and started playing with water. At this time, the fishing rod floated up and down. It was obvious that prey had been hooked. It's bitten, you poor little guy, don't pull it up quickly, or the fish will run away. Zhang Shu on the side was even more anxious than Fang Yue. Seeing this scene, she stopped playing in the water and shouted happily. However, the fish was so scared that it got off the hook. You? Fang Yue looked back at Zhang Shu, who looked innocent, and wanted to reprimand her, but at this time, looking at her innocent face, he didn't know whether she was doing it on purpose or unintentionally. You, clown, go play somewhere else and don't delay my fishing. Dare to say I'm ugly, believe it or not, I'll beat you up. Zhang Shu narrowed her eyes, rolled up her sleeves, and looked ready to fight. If you speak louder, my master will definitely hear it. You don't want to be seen as unladylike. Fang Yue just said one sentence, and Zhang Shu's arrogance was immediately reduced a lot. Fang Yue just discovered this along the way. Zhang Shu is eccentric and likes to play tricks on people, but she actually maintains a ladylike appearance in front of the elders, although, perhaps the elders all know her temper, but no one has exposed her. Tisk, it's obviously your own level. You can't catch any fish, why are you so mean to me? Zhang Shu curled her lips, looking disdainful, and didn't come to beat Fang Yue after all, but walked a little further to the side. After waiting for a while, Fang Yue didn't catch any fish, perhaps she felt bored, so she sat on a protruding rock, took off her shoes and socks, and soaked her white and tender feet in the water, playing happily with the water. Wowed at this time. The water splashed, Fang Yue pulled the fishing rod, and a 1-foot-long carp was pulled out of the water and fell on the ground behind him. It was caught. It must be a blind cat that met a dead mouse. Zhang Shu's somewhat vicious voice came over, and Fang Yue couldn't help but look in the direction of the sound, just saw the white calves and delicate feet. After crossing into this world, he came into contact with country girls who were pale and skinny and sunburned. That is, the widow Yu next door had a much whiter skin because of her previous background, but it was the first time he saw a girl like Zhang Shu. For a moment, he was bitten in the eyes and couldn't move away. Humph, poor little thing, what are you looking at? If you keep looking, I'll dig your eyes out. At this time, Zhang Shu also noticed Fang Yue's gaze. She didn't panic like an ordinary ancient woman, and she just glared at him fiercely. But soon, the anger on Zhang Shu's face disappeared, and she turned to be terrified. Ah, poor little thing, look, what's behind you? Fang Yue immediately turned around and looked at the water surface, which was sparkling and nothing. He immediately realized that he had been deceived, and at this moment, a fist-sized stone fell into the river, and the splashing water covered Fang Yue's face. Soon, a crisp silver bell-like laughter came into his ears, and Zhang Shu covered her mouth and laughed forward and backward, shaking her branches. It's a pity that she hasn't grown yet, so there's nothing to see. After all, she's a little girl, and Fang Yue can't argue with her. Should he go over and spank her now? But maybe he is not Zhang Shu's opponent yet. After all, Fang Yue seems to have been taught a lesson several times. What's so good about the airport? Fang Yue muttered after being splashed with water. What did you say? What is an airport? Zhang Shu was puzzled when she heard it, not knowing what an airport meant, but she instinctively felt that what Fang Yue said must not be a good thing, and was about to return Fang Yue. Just at this time, she saw Fang Yue's face become terrified. Zhang Shu, get out of there quickly, there is a tiger behind you. Chapter 24 Tiger. Tiger? Tiger Demon. Please read on. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Don't even try to lie to me. Zhang Shu even laughed a little angrily. She had just used this trick to deceive Fang Yue. After a short time, the other party tried to deceive her using the same trick, but she didn't want to fall for it. Zhang Shu, get out of the way. Fang Yue looked solemnly and looked at the figure swimming in the water, with only a huge head exposed. He quickly stood up, picked up a watermelon-sized stone from the ground and threw it towards the giant beast in the water. At the same time, don't look at the results, he rushed forward, grabbed Zhang Shu's arm, picked her up, turned around and ran towards the camping place. At first, Zhang Shu was stunned when she was hugged, then he couldn't help shouting, "Ah, you're a disciple, you're a disciple, this little poor guy is actually such a person." Zhang Shu was very angry, furious, raised her fist, and immediately prepared to teach Fang Yue a harsh lesson. Roar! At this moment, a huge roar exploded. Then, Zhang Shu saw a huge figure emerging from the river behind him. It was a giant tiger that was more than a foot long, with limbs as thick as elephant legs, and brown fur as hard as steel needles. It opened its huge mouth and chased them directly. Its teeth are sharp and sharp, exuding a terrifying light. There is actually a tiger. Fang Yue didn't lie to her just now. The giant tiger came ashore and immediately chased Fang Yue and Zhang Shu, who were running ahead. Such a big tiger. Is this tiger a spirit? Fang Yue also took a look at the giant tiger behind him. Not counting its tail, this tiger was almost 5 meters long and almost 2 meters tall, like a small car. It is much bigger than the Siberian tiger, the largest tiger in the previous life. At this moment, it was flying towards them, and the fishy wind was almost like flying sand and rocks. The clouds follow the dragon and the wind follows the tiger. This tiger can't really stir up strong winds. Is this a tiger? Can tigers in this world grow so big? Could it be a tiger demon? The giant tiger flew across a distance of several feet and was about to catch up with Fang Yue and the two in an instant. Fang Yue could even smell a fishy smell, so close. As long as the giant tiger swooped down again, it would be able to kill both Fang Yue and Fang Yue. In an instant, Fang Yue fell into a life-and-death crisis. The giant tiger was so fast that the two of them couldn't escape at all. Quickly go. Call Uncle Fang. He took a deep breath, forcing himself to calm down his trembling body as he faced life and death, and then threw Zhang Shu forward in his arms. Taking advantage of this moment, the giant tiger behind him had already attacked again. This giant tiger was so big that it swooped in and almost blocked all directions where Fang Yue could dodge. Seeing this, Fang Yue's heart skipped a beat. At this time, he did not continue to run forward, but turned around and rushed towards the tiger. Slide shovel. Passed under the giant tiger jumped into the air and changed positions with Fang Yue. Feeling that it was being played by its prey, the giant tiger roared wildly, turned around quickly, and was about to tear the prey in front of him into pieces. You evil beast, die! At this moment, Fang Yue's voice sounded. Faster than his voice was a rustling sound of air exploding. Bang! Fang Yue only heard a dull sound, and then he saw that a sharp arrow was halfway into the giant tiger's body, leaving only half of the arrow trembling. Scarlet blood immediately flowed down the wound. The giant tiger was attacked and roared in pain. He turned around and pounced on Fang Yue, who was shooting an arrow from behind. However, Fang Yue faced the giant tiger's attack. Without dodging or dodging, the bow and arrow in his hand kept opening and closing to shoot. One by one, the feather arrows made a harsh buzzing sound in the air, and they kept falling on the huge body of the giant tiger. Blood flowers exploded and blood sprayed out. The giant tiger's furious roar gradually turned into a howl. After a while, Uncle Fang. Master, is this tiger dead? Looking at the giant tiger's body, this giant tiger was killed by a sharp arrow shot from the eye and through the head. There are 7 arrows stuck in the giant tiger's body. The blood was still gushing out, staining a large area red. He's dead. You performed very well today. Remember, when you encounter a beast in the wild, you must stay calm and never get into trouble. As Fang Yue spoke, he took a knife and began to cut up the tiger's body. At the same time, on-site teaching was also started on where the tiger's weaknesses are, which parts are valuable, which parts can be used as medicine, where to cut when cutting them apart, etc. Fang Yue listened carefully and studied carefully. Later, he was asked to try it himself. When Fang Yue held the knife and cut the tiger's skin and flesh, he discovered that the tiger's fur and flesh were actually very tough. Even with his strength, it was a bit laborious. Fortunately, what you met today was a young tiger, not too big. If it were an adult tiger, you two might not be able to wait for me to come. Fang Yue saw that Fang Yue had mastered the method of segmentation, and then he spoke. Master, you said this is just a young tiger. Fang Yue looked at the huge tiger carcass, which looked like a huge elephant. This size is actually just a young tiger. How is this possible? If this is just a young tiger, how big would an adult tiger be? There can't really be a tiger monster. For a moment, Fang Yue found that this world seemed to be covered with a mysterious veil again. Fang Yue naturally didn't know what was in Fang Yue's mind. He continued, when you learn the white tiger fist and practice strength in the future, you can kill such a young tiger. And if you practice skin to perfection, as long as you are careful, you can also deal with adult giant tigers. Fang Yue heard this and could only nod woodenly. Xiaoqiong. Junior brother Fang Yue, what's wrong with you? Are you scared, silly? It's just a little tiger. It's dead. You are still afraid. You are such a coward. Zhang Shu started to tease at this time. At first, she was going to call him Xiaoqiangswen, but she stopped talking when she realized that Fang Yue and Fang Ergu were around. Besides, Fang Yue just saved her and let her go, leaving her alone to deal with the tiger. Well, it can be regarded as a life-saving grace, so I won't call him Xiaoqiangswen. Sister Zhang Shu, how can you say that? This is the first time that Brother Ji has seen a tiger. When I followed my father into the mountains and saw a tiger for the first time, I was so scared that I peed my pants. Fang Ergu saw Zhang Shu ridiculing Fang Yue, and he defended himself somewhat indignantly. When facing a giant beast, people will naturally feel fear. Okay, Pack up quickly and leave here, so as not to attract other beasts with the smell of blood. Fang Yue's face suddenly darkened when he heard his son say that. How can someone expose his own shortcomings like this? What a stupid son. The new author is trembling online, please vote when you read it. Chapter 25, Acute Perception. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Fang Yue ignored Zhang Shu, who was a little arrogant and unruly. In his opinion, she was a spoiled young lady. She looked down on them as poor relatives from the countryside. For such a woman, since you can't fight her, the best way is to ignore her. Besides, at this time, Fang Yue didn't have time to pay attention to her. Originally, he wondered why so many young and strong men in the village didn't dare to go hunting in the mountains and forests by themselves, and no more people made a living by hunting. He felt very strange. And now he knew that it was because the beasts in the mountains were too huge and too fierce. Such beasts are definitely not something that ordinary people can deal with bows and arrows or swords. The huge body and powerful strength can make these beasts ignore most traps. If the attacking beast is not strong enough and the speed is not fast enough, I am afraid that it will not be able to break the opponent's defense. Ordinary people have difficulty pulling a 3-stone bow, and many people can't pull it. According to the dissection of the tiger corpse just now, the 3-stone bow can only cause damage to such a giant tiger unless it is close to the enemy or hits the vital point. As for the stronger 5-stone bow and 6-stone bow, only warriors can pull them. So hunting requires warriors who practice martial arts. Clean this place to avoid attracting other beasts. Soon the giant tiger's body was cut up, and the tiger bones, tiger skin, and other parts of the body that can be used as medicine were cut off. The other parts were buried in a pit on the spot, and lime was sprinkled to cover the blood and smell. After doing all this, Fang Yue and others returned to the camp. The bonfire was lit, and the fish caught naturally didn't need to be eaten. Today they ate tiger meat. Tiger meat was very tough and it took half an hour to roast it. There were naturally no seasonings such as cumin, chili, and pepper, but only some salt was sprinkled. In the past and present lives, this was the first time Fang Yue had eaten tiger meat. The meat was very hard and a little hard to bite, but it tasted very good. After swallowing, Fang Yue felt a slight warm current rising from his stomach. This warm current circulated in his body and then disappeared. Fang Yue seemed to feel that his body had changed, but it seemed that there was no change. Immediately, he ate a few more bites, then he felt it carefully. This time, after being prepared, it was much clearer. Under the effect of that slight warm current, he felt that his body was strengthened. The effect of this tiger meat seems to be similar to the medicinal tea that he drinks after practicing every day. Fang Yue could not help thinking as he sensed the changes in his body. Then, he looked at Fang Ergu, who was eating meat without any abnormality. Then he looked at Zhang Shu. This girl was quite gentle and ate in small bites. She also did not show any abnormality. Neither of them showed any abnormality. Could it be that he was not experienced enough? Master, this tiger meat seems unusual. I feel that it is a bit similar to the medicinal tea I drink every day. As soon as he finished speaking, Zhang Shu next to him spoke. What do you feel? It's just eating meat. Why are you talking so much nonsense? Is tiger meat poisonous and can't be eaten? In theory, etiquette prevailed in this ancient society. The elders haven't spoken yet, so it shouldn't be her turn to speak. However, Fang Yue naturally wouldn't argue with her. Yes, you have a keen sense. The medicinal tea you drink every day contains tiger bones. There are also several medicinal materials in it. When combined, it is the small white tiger decoction that we must practice white tiger fist. Fang Yue explained. At the same time, his eyes looking at Fang Yue became softer. This boy's perception is really sharp. He felt the medicinal properties of tiger meat the first time he ate it. As for his son, it has been several years, and he has eaten tiger meat more than a dozen times, but he didn't notice it at all. Sure enough, it was the right choice to accept Fang Yue as an apprentice. Medicine and martial arts are inseparable. There are corresponding medicines to assist in every realm of martial arts practice. Many of them require you to adjust the dosage according to your actual practice to ensure more efficient use. Not to mention, there will definitely be many bumps and bruises in martial arts practice. If you are in the city, you can still find a doctor, but if you are in the countryside or in the wild, where can you find a doctor? If you can only rely on yourself to save yourself, you naturally need to know some medical skills, and a keen perception of the efficacy of medicinal materials is also a necessary condition for becoming a doctor. Ergu is simple-minded and careless. He can't learn anything that requires carefulness. Sure enough, Fang Ergu said anxiously as soon as he finished speaking. Dad, little white tiger decoction. What is this? What's the use? Why can't I tell what the relationship is between tiger meat and tea? Can meat and tea be related? Fang Ergu seemed very curious, and he didn't give up until he asked clearly. Eat your meat, don't talk. Fang Huhu glared and immediately choked back Fang Ergu's words. The latter muttered something like I don't want to say it, what's the big deal? Then he began to vent his emotions on the roasted tiger meat and ate it fiercely. As for Zhang Shu, she was also eating tiger meat at this time, and she looked like she was feeling it carefully, so she naturally knew about the little white tiger decoction, but at this time, no matter how she sensed, she didn't feel any connection between the tiger meat and the little white tiger decoction. Okay, don't think about it, eat it quickly. Rest quickly, we have to travel tomorrow. Fang Hu interrupted everyone's thoughts, but Fang Yue and others didn't know that Fang Hu looked relaxed at the moment, but his heart was a little heavy, but he was thinking, why did this young tiger appear here? Daliashu village, in front of Fang Yu's house, Chen leaned against the gate and tied a net with her daughter Fang Lan. Master Lu's family was not so busy these days, and she came back after noon. Why hasn't my son Jue come back yet? How many days has he been out? It's almost 10 days. Xiahe County is so far away, I don't know if Jue has become thin from hunger. Chen tied a net, her mind was on Fang Yue who was out. Mom, Jue brother must be fine, he can't be thin from hunger with Uncle Fang Hu. Fang Lan advised. As for my brother, what did the matchmaker say that day? Will this marriage be successful? My brother is so distracted that he must have fallen in love with her. Speaking of this, Chen sighed. The girl is a good girl, and your brother is also attracted to her. But the betrothal gift is too much, 5 taels of silver, 5 caddies of pork, and a piece of coarse cloth, which is a bit too much. It's not easy to get enough food in this year, and such a large betrothal gift is indeed beyond the affordability of ordinary families, it's a bit too much. Chapter 26, Dowry and Gifts. You are listening at novelfull.audio. So much? How dare their family ask for so much? Fang Lan couldn't help exclaiming, there are many people getting married in the surrounding areas. Fang Lan had never heard of anyone asking for such a large amount of gifts when marrying a girl. It's not like he's a wealthy landlord. Who has so much money in his family? In previous years when there was famine, you could buy a girl with only 3 taels of silver. Yes, this marriage is difficult to discuss. Mrs. Chen was a little disinterested and a little unwilling. She had seen the big girl from Zhou's family in the next village. She had to look good, have a big butt and a good pot. She would be fertile at a glance. Bringing such a girl home will save you a lot of worry. I just don't know why I said it well at the beginning, but now I suddenly opened my mouth and added so many colorful gifts. Who can bear this? This marriage will definitely fall through, but it's good that the Zhou family did this in advance, which also allowed them to understand the face of the Zhou family and save them from any trouble after marrying home. If you think about it this way, this girl from the Zhou family is not a good match. Mom, I'm back. At this moment, a familiar voice sounded. Mrs. Chen quickly turned around and saw her youngest son standing outside the door. His face was weathered, as if he was a little tanned. No, I look a little thinner. My little pig, you have suffered. Mrs. Chen quickly put down the bag in her hand, took 3 steps and 2 steps at a time, rushed to Fang Yue, and grabbed Fang Yue's shoulders. Looking left and right, all he needed to do was check Fang Yue's whole body. Sierre, you have eaten. You must be hungry. Mom will cook for you. What do you want to eat today? There are 2 eggs at home. I cooked them for you. Then, Mrs. Chen looked like she was in a hurry and was going to cook for Fang Yue. Mom, I've eaten. Fang Yue stopped Chen and then unloaded the package on his body. Mom, look what this is. We eat meat tonight. The baggage was opened, and inside was a large piece of processed tiger meat. Fang Yue had another baggage like this on him. The 2 pieces of tiger meat were about the same weight, adding up to more than 200 kilograms. It's not that Fang Yue and the others didn't want to take more. The total flesh and blood on that young tiger's body weighed 2 to 3,000 kilograms. If we take it all back, we will definitely have enough food for a long time, but there is still the same problem. If winter is okay, the flesh and blood can be preserved for a while when the temperature is low, but although it has already entered autumn, the temperature is still not low, and fresh flesh and blood will deteriorate in a day and cannot be stored at all. The most practical way to preserve meat in this era was to pickle it with salt or dry it into jerky. That is because I didn't expect to encounter a young tiger on the way, so I didn't bring much salt. I only marinated more than 300 kilograms of tiger meat, and there was still more than 1,000 kilograms of tiger meat left to be roasted and removed. Dried out moisture, Fang Yue brought back more than 200 kilograms, and the other almost 1,000 kilograms of tiger meat was naturally brought back by Fang Yue. What kind of meat is this? Why is there so much of it? Where did you come from? Mrs. Chen was immediately shocked when she saw the cured meat and dried meat exposed in the 2 packages in Fang Yue's hands. In her entire life, from childhood to adulthood, she had never eaten so much meat. Chen, a peasant woman from the countryside, has never seen much of the world and is used to being cautious. Seeing so much meat in Fang Yue's hands, he immediately panicked. Must he have robbed the butcher? The chief there, the village elder, wouldn't he send someone to catch my piggy? At this moment, Mrs. Chen couldn't help but look outside the door and saw several men walking towards here on the road in the distance. This time, we are really here to catch piggies. Hey, run away. Chen pushed Fang Yue and told him to run away. Mother, what are you doing here? Why should I run? Fang Yue was a little dumbfounded. He had just returned home. Why were he running? He didn't break the law, and he didn't have to run. Come on, you stole someone's meat and they're here. Mrs. Chen pushed Fang Yue and said incoherently. When Fang Yue heard this, he suddenly became a little confused. Stealing other people's meat? Where are these things? Is there anyone else who lost meat today? Is there anyone else in this big willow village who kills so much meat at once? This meat is tiger meat. Uncle Fang Yue and I met a young tiger on the way back, and Uncle Fang Yue gave it to me. Fang Yue explained quickly. Fang Yue gave it to you. Then you should tell me earlier. Is it really Fang Yue who gave it to you? Then I'll be relieved. Mrs. Chen asked again and again, and after getting confirmation, she couldn't help but let out a long sigh of relief and felt relieved. Then, Mrs. Chen seemed to remember something and said quickly. Give me the meat quickly and take it back and put it away. It will be bad if someone sees it. In rural areas, supplies are scarce and every household is half hungry and half full. If someone eats a meal of meat, they will be envied by others. And if someone eats meat every day, it will make people jealous. These people do not dare to vent their dissatisfaction on the big landlords, but will only vent their emotions on other people. It's nothing more than not seeing others living better than themselves. All in all, wealth should not be revealed in vain. Fang Yue nodded, but instead of handing the meat to Chen, he took it into the kitchen. These 2 pieces of meat don't look that big, but they are very heavy. Just as they were finishing up, a voice came from outside the door. Fang Mu, is your piglet at home? Oh, isn't this housekeeper Lu? What do you want my piglet for? Chen heard the voice and answered first, Housekeeper Lu, this is the housekeeper of the rich man Lu's family. He is very majestic in Mr. Lu's house on weekdays, and keeps a close eye on those who work in Mr. Lu's house. I don't know why he came here today. And from his appearance, he looks friendly, not like the stern face he usually has, as if everyone owes him 2 taels of silver. Although Chen has seen little of the world, she also knows that there must be something wrong when such a person comes to the door with such an attitude. I heard that your piglet has married Fang Yue and followed Fang Yue to Xianxia County these days. Is that true? Housekeeper Lu laughed. Yes, it is true. Chen replied. That's right, these things are a little gift from our master, for your son. Butler Lu immediately ordered the servants behind him to carry a few boxes in. Ah, Butler Lu, this is absolutely not allowed. I can't accept these things. Chen looked at the boxes of gifts, including silk cloth, cakes, and many things that she would never dare to think about on weekdays, but now, it is in front of her. Didn't his son just go to Xiahe County with Fang Yue? Why did the rich man Lu give him gifts? Can I ask for a few recommendation votes? Chapter 27 Martial Arts Examination. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Yes, yes, this is my master's wish. Congratulations to your son for becoming a famous teacher. This is a happy event. Madam, please do not refuse. Butler Lu's face was full of enthusiasm and he ordered the servants to put away all the gifts. I still have something to do, so I'll take my leave now. Then, without waiting for Chen to refuse, Danjia left quickly with a few servants. Hey, Butler Lu, this. By the time Chen came to his senses, Butler Lu and others had already walked away. She was a little confused when she saw the various gifts placed at the entrance of the courtyard. What's going on? The only landowner in Daliasha village, Mr. Lu, who was usually aloof, even the village chief had to be polite when meeting him. How could he give gifts to her family? She gave away so much in one go, which was equivalent to her several years of wages. Mom, are these all for us? Fang Lan was shocked just now, and only now did she realize that she had never seen so many good things since she was a child. The key piece of silk and satin is not burlap, but a silk and satin worn only by landlords. It feels really delicate and the color is so beautiful. It must look great when made into clothes, but soon the joy on her face turned into worry. Is it okay to take so many things from the Lu family? Mom, Mr. Lu, Butler Lu, these things must have been delivered by mistake, or we should return them quickly. Country people are cautious, and cannot withstand the slightest storm in this world. What is Mr. Lu's family status, and can he still give gifts to their family? This is not realistic at all. It could only be that the other party sent the wrong item. Lanil, you are right, we can't have these things. Mrs. Chen was very reluctant to part with them. These gifts were of high value, even more than the sky-high betrothal gifts mentioned by the Zhou family before. And they are all good items that are only used by landlords. Ordinary farmers use these items, which are a bit wasteful. I was reluctant to send these things back in every possible way. Wait, why don't we wait until your father comes back? Mom, who came here just now, why is it so messy? At this time, Fang Yue's voice sounded. He placed 2 large pieces of tiger meat, divided the dried tiger meat into long strips, and hung them on the beams. The marinated tiger meat must also be cut into pieces and sprinkled with some salt to make it more fully marinated. Of course, I cut a piece directly and put it in the pot to cook. The texture of tiger meat is very tough. It is not easy for parents, brothers and sisters to digest it, so it must be cooked thoroughly. At this time, everything is done and the meat has begun to cook over medium heat, so there is no need to keep watching. It's a pity that it only has garlic, no onions, ginger, and no cooking wine, so it doesn't taste very good. As for Fang Yue, who had never cooked before, cooked meat like this, I can just blame it on the master when the time comes. Taking advantage of this time, Fang Yue came to the yard and saw the gifts beside his mother at a glance. Only then did I realize that the movement just now was obviously not a visit from a neighbor. Mom, who sent these? Ms. Chen was stunned for a moment, then came back to her senses. When she saw Fang Yue, she immediately slapped her thigh. Xier, yes, Xier is at home. This was sent by Butler Lu just now. He said that these gifts were given to you by Mr. Lu. Master Lu gave it to him. A piece of silk costs 5 taels of silver, as well as food and snacks. Fang Yue even saw 10 taels of silver in a box. The total value of these things is probably no less than 20 taels. 20 taels of silver can buy 2 acres of good paddy fields, and even 4 or 5 acres of Susukino fields. Their family has not saved so much money in the past 10 years. How could Mr. Lu be so generous? Mom also said these things were given to him. What does this mean? Fang Yue had to guess that he had nothing to do with the Lu family. He even took the blame for the young master of the Lu family, but was whipped by the village elder. If it were compensation, it wouldn't be that much, and it wouldn't be possible for it to take so long. Oh, by the way, Butler Lu also asked after entering Fang Hu's house, and whether he went to Xiahe County with Fang Hu. Mom, did they ask these questions? Fang Yue asked. Yes, Sierre, that's it. Chen was also a little strange and couldn't figure out why the other party asked about these. Could it be that the gift was due to a trip to Xiahe County with Fang Hu? Shouldn't it? What is this? Sierre, what do you think we should do with these things? Should we wait until your father comes back and send these things back to the Lu family? Mrs. Chen asked quickly. I don't know why, maybe it's because Fang Yue followed Fang Hu to Xiahe County, or maybe it's due to Butler Lu's actions. Anyway, when Chen looks at Fang Yue now, she always feels that her pig is different, and there's something convincing about her. Feeling. I think I understand. Put these things at home first. I'll go find Uncle Fang Hu first and wait until I get back. Fang Yue had a feeling in his heart that the reason why the Lu family sent these things was related to his trip to Xiahe County to become a disciple. After all, this trip to Xiahe County let him know that Uncle Fang Hu's identity is very unusual. He is a disciple of the White Tiger Boxing Gym and a martial artist who practices martial arts. The murderous city guards were very polite to them, and they didn't have to pay to enter the city. This all shows that Fang Hu is not simple, not to mention, Master Lu would definitely give him a gift for Fang Hu's sake, so, how to deal with these things still needs to be asked Fang Hu. Move all these things into the house quickly, and then close the gate. After Fang Yue left, Chen came to her senses and quickly asked Fang Lan to move all the things in the yard into the house. Then she closed the gate, looking as if she was afraid of being seen. Fang Yue's home and Fang Hu's home are not far away, and Fang Yue's pace is also very fast. After leaving the house, it took only a few minutes for Fang Yue to arrive at Fang Hu's home. After telling his family's affairs, Fang Yue sat up and looked at his master Fang Hu. The Lu family is well informed. Since they gave it to you, accept it. Just treat it as compensation for the previous incident in the ancestral hall. Master, did you say that the Lu family gave me these things because I became their apprentice? Fang Yue asked. Fang Hu's answer made him more certain. This matter must be related to Fang Hu, and it must be related to his becoming their apprentice. Yue, do you know that the imperial court holds imperial examinations, which are divided into civil examinations and military examinations? Who do you think is more distinguished, the civil or military examinations? Who has more power and status? I don't know. Fang Yue answered honestly. According to his mind, civil officials must be more distinguished than military officials, and civil examinations must be more valued than military examinations. But Fang Hu said this deliberately, which made him suddenly have an idea in his mind. Could it be that military officials are more distinguished in this world? Chapter 28, 4 Stages of Martial Arts. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Fang Yue didn't dare to imagine it. After all, this somewhat overturned the inherent concept in his mind, but then he thought about it, and in his mind, those civil officials were more noble than military officials. These were all concepts brought from his previous life, and in this world, he had just been on a long journey and had only visited the county town. He was simply a person who had never seen the world, therefore, he really didn't know which one was higher between the civil and military imperial examinations in this world, and between civil and military officials. Of course, the military examination has more prospects, and the military officials are more noble and more powerful. Fang Hu said in a positive tone, this is common sense that almost everyone in the county knows. In remote villages like Daliasha village, farmers only know to face the lus and back to the sky, and they call those wearing silk and satin master. As for which master is powerful and which master is not powerful, they can't tell. Why do you want to ask? That's because when a warrior practices martial arts, his great power belongs to himself. Strength training, skin grinding, bone forging, and marrow changing are the 4 levels of martial arts. Strength training, integrating the strength of the whole body into a whole force. Even the worst cultivator has 1,000 pounds of strength. When the skin is polished, the skin is like copper and it is difficult to be injured by swords. With these 2 points alone, if you wear armor, you can defeat thousands of people. And if you go through bone forging and marrow changing, it will be even more difficult to defeat 10,000 people. And all those who can pass the martial arts examination, the worst is also bone forging. How can a military officer who masters such power not be more noble than a civil official? That after Fang Yue finished speaking, he picked up the tea bowl and blew the water slightly, and drank it. It's so. Fang Yue understood in an instant that since martial artists in this world can master power through practice, great power belongs to themselves, every powerful martial artist can repel thousands of troops, then the status of civil officials naturally cannot shake the status of military officials, and it is understandable that the status of military officials is higher and more noble. But what surprised Fang Yue was that in his previous life, he knew that Master Lu's family had passed the imperial examination and became the largest landlord. Passing the imperial examination could change one's fate, but he had no idea that practicing martial arts could also change one's fate. Now, through Fang Yue's narration and Master Lu's gift-giving, he had a complete answer in his heart. Thank you, Master, for clearing up my doubts. Fang Yue was certain in his heart, and he was more determined to continue on the path of practicing martial arts. Okay, you go back now. Tomorrow is still the same time. Don't forget. Fang Yue waved his hand and sent Fang Yue out. Fang Yue hurriedly bowed and said goodbye. Just as he turned around, Fang Yue's voice rang again. Oh, by the way, let Ergu bring you a few pounds of tiger meat. When you go back and pass by Widow Yu's house, give it to Zhangshu. As soon as she arrived at Daliashu village, Zhangshu was arranged to live in Widow Yu's house. After all, Fang Yue's family only had him and his son, both men, and it was inconvenient for Zhangshu, a woman, to live in his house. On the contrary, it was convenient for Widow Yu to let Zhangshu live there for a while, as she and her daughter were the only ones who depended on each other. Widow Yu was naturally very willing. After all, if Zhangshu lived in her house, Fang Yue would have to pay for their food. Got it, Master. Fang Yue went out, took the tiger meat handed over by Ergo, and then left Fang Yue's house, Daliashu village, the center of the village. In the Lu family compound with blue bricks and gray tiles. Grandpa, why did you let the housekeeper send money in cloth to Fang Yue? His family is just mud legs, why do you look up to him? Lu Chuanji, the young master of the Lu family, dressed in blue silk and looked like a scholar, had a face full of dissatisfaction and contempt. That time he went to play with Fang Yue, but he was just curious about the country boy. Later, when he arrived at the ancestral hall, he accidentally broke the sacrificial utensils. He was the young master of the noble Lu family. The blame for breaking the sacrificial vessel naturally did not fall on him. It could only be this country boy who broke it with his hands and feet. What does it have to do with the young master of the Lu family who has been studying since childhood and is well-educated and well-mannered? The other party took the beating for him, but he did not say anything, let alone be grateful. He even felt dislike for the young man in his heart. Humph, what do you know? Remember, don't show this attitude after you go out. Fang Yue is different now. He has entered the White Tiger Fist. Be polite to him in the future. Old Master Lu warned solemnly in a stern tone. In fact, he didn't need to give this gift, but that incident happened during the new year. He naturally knew in his heart that Fang Yue was beaten for his grandson, but at that time, Fang Yue was a country mud leg, a descendant of a farmer. It was a great honor to be beaten for his grandson, and now, the boy is very lucky, or he was lucky to have the talent to learn martial arts and was accepted by Fang Yue, although he might not be able to pass the martial arts exam in the future. But the destructive power of a martial artist should not be underestimated. If the other party holds a grudge in his heart, how can his family live in peace in Daliashu village? So, he sent some gifts, showed goodwill, and let this matter go. Grandpa, I know, I will visit him in 2 days and apologize to him. Lu Chuanji also put away his arrogance at this time. He is not a countryman who knows nothing. He is very clear about the status of martial artists. The White Tiger Boxing Gym is also a top-ranked military officer in Xianxia County. In Xianxia County, there are White Tiger Fist disciples in both the county government and the city guards. The power of White Tiger Fist is not small, not to mention that the martial artist himself possesses tyrannical power. There are ordinary servants in his Lu family compound, but they cannot stop the opponent. Therefore, although I feel very unhappy, why is he from such a good family background? but his martial arts qualifications are only average and inferior, and he has never had the chance to become a disciple until now. But the other party, the son of a small farmer, caught Fang Yue's eyes and became a disciple of White Tiger Fist. This is really disappointing. Well, that's the best. If you think so, our Liu family will have a successor in the future. Mrs. Liu said happily with a smile, those who know the current affairs are heroes. Now that Fang Yue has a backer, he has gained power, then it would be wise for them to bow their heads and make good friends with each other. His grandson is now able to let go of his arrogance and grudges, let go of his face, apologize to the other party, and resolve the previous dispute. This kind of magnanimity is enough to inherit the Liu family's family business. But said the other side. Hey, why is your roof leaking, and this table, why is it so dark, and here, at Widow Yu's house, Zhang Shu pinched her nose, pointed at everything in the house, and couldn't help but frown. Miss Zhang, I'm really sorry for the conditions at home. I'll take care of these right away. Widow Yu said with an apologetic smile. Chapter 29, Full Strength. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Unruly and willful, the eldest daughter of a rich family behaves like this, but Widow Yu could only cope with it with a smile, because Zhang Shu lived here, and Fang Orion, the man in the village, promised to provide food to their family every day. Such a good thing must be tolerated by their family. If Anu could have enough to eat, it wouldn't matter if she suffered a little injustice. Really, this place is like a doghouse, how can anyone live in it? Zhang Shu looked disgusted. Before she came, she had never thought that the environment in Daliasha village was so bad. If she had known this earlier, she wouldn't have come at all. Of course, maybe she was forced to come here by her father. Miss Zhang, please wait a moment, I'll take care of it right away. Widow Yu smiled apologetically again, then he wanted to go into the house to clean up, but Zhang Shu looked disgusted. Forget it, I'm hungry now, you go ahead and cook. Carrying the tiger meat, Fang Yue quickly arrived at the door of Widow Yu's house. She looked up and saw her daughter Anu in the yard with red eyes. Anu, your eyes are red, did Sha squint? Fang Yue touched the girl's head and asked. The sister who came today said that Anu's home is a doghouse. Anu's home is not a doghouse. Anu raised his head and looked at Fang Yue expectantly. Of course Anu's home is not a doghouse. Fang Yue smiled slightly, then handed the tiger meat in his hand to the girl. Give this to your mother, and my brother will not go in. In front of the widow's door, it is also because Zhang Shu lives here now. He just came here to deliver food in an upright manner, but even so, it was better not to go in. Hey, isn't this the poor little junior brother Fang? What are you doing here? Are you here to watch my joke? Zhang Shu said in a somewhat sinister tone. She walked out of the room after hearing voices outside. Seeing the smile on Fang Yue's face, she instinctively felt that this guy was laughing at her. Sister Zhang is too worried. Fang Yue originally didn't want to pay attention to this spoiled girl, but he didn't expect Zhang Shu to come out. I heard that senior sister Zhang is not used to living here. Senior sister Zhang is a martial arts practitioner. Only after enduring hardships can one become a master. Those of us who practice martial arts do not stick to trivial matters. If we can't even stand this, how can we say that we are successful in martial arts practice? After Fang Yue finished speaking, he immediately turned around and left. You, stop. Zhang Shu stamped her feet when she saw Fang Yue leaving. However, Fang Yue ignored her at all. Instead, he quickened his pace and was soon far away. Damn it, it's so abominable that you dare to look down on me. I must teach him a lesson. Zhang Shu thought angrily, but she didn't say anything more about the poor conditions at Widow Yu's home. After all, she couldn't be looked down upon by that little poor man. Although I exercise every day at Fang Hu's house, there is one more person practicing, but life is still the same as usual. Not much has changed. It's a pity that Zhang Shu wanted to teach Fang Yue a lesson, but there was no chance at all, because Fang Yue had just started practicing martial arts, and he hadn't learned any boxing or kicking skills in less than a month, so he couldn't compete. Time passed quickly during the fulfilling practice, and 10 days passed in the blink of an eye. The leaves of the willow trees turned yellow, and the dry leaves were blown off by the cold wind. On this day, Fang Yue still practiced pile skills. These days, he felt that he was becoming more and more proficient in Zhuanggong, and his strength was growing every day under the influence of Zhuang Kung Fu and his unique breathing rhythm. Time flies, God rewards hard work, qualification +1. Along with, the words flashed before his eyes, and Fang Yue felt a familiar warmth emerge, but today was different from the past. Under the flow of this warm current, the energy and blood all over his body surged violently at this moment. All the strength in his body seemed to be blended into one. With a slight exertion, all the bones in his body made sounds like tigers and leopards. Okay, the strength of the whole body is mixed together, and the bones explode with the sound of tiger and leopard. The strength is ready. It only took half a month from the time I got started. It's good, it's really good. Fang Hu, who was drinking tea in the courtyard, looked at Fang Yue with a pair of tiger eyes and couldn't help but admire. As expected of a top-notch qualification, you can get started with just a few days of practice, but now, in less than half a month, I have mastered the whole body strength, and the strength of the whole body is integrated, which is enough to start practicing White Tiger Fist. However, I don't know how strong he is now. It should weigh 800 kilograms. Brother, she is so awesome, so awesome. Fang Yue smiled naively, and just by tossing and turning, he would say that Fang was getting more awesome. Humph, what's the big deal? He was only a few days earlier than me. Who knows whether it's true or not? Zhang Shu on the side curled her lips and muttered quietly. Even though Fang Hu was here, she didn't dare to show it. Zhang Shu was a little jealous of Fang Yue today. After all, it took her 20 days to achieve full strength. At this time, Fang Yue was immersed in the changes in his body. Phew, my power seems to have changed. Fang Yue exerted his strength slightly, and felt that the strength in his body became more and more handy. He could mix the strength in his body into one without any special effort, and exploded with stronger power. Is this Xingjin? Getting started with Zhuanggong can be regarded as embarking on the path of martial arts practice. Completing Xingjin is equivalent to mastering the pile skills and being able to start practicing boxing. After thinking about this, Fang Yue couldn't help but feel happy. Master, do I have completely mastered Zhuang Kung Fu? Yeah, not bad. Fang Hu nodded, then pointed to the stone lock next to him. Go try that piece and see how strong it is. Yes. Fang Yue immediately walked to the stone lock pointed by Fang Hu. It was an 800-kilogram stone lock. This is a somewhat blackened stone called iron stone. It is only half the size of a large bluestone of the same weight, so even though it is only about the size of a bucket, it is one size smaller than the 600-pound large bluestone lock next to it, but the weight is 200 pounds more. Fang Yue stood in front of the stone lock, took a deep breath, grabbed both sides, and exerted force. He lifted the black stone lock easily. It's easy. Yue's strength is more than 800 kilograms. Seeing this scene, Fang Hu was stunned for a moment before coming back to his senses. He stood up and came to Fang Yue. Try the east one again, be careful and don't hurt yourself. Fang Yue put down the stone lock in his hand and walked to the side. The stone lock was obviously larger and still made of iron and stone. Judging from the text above, this is a stone lock weighing 1,000 kilograms. Fang Yue still inhaled slightly, grabbed the stone lock with both hands, and then exerted force. Rise. It could be seen that Fang Yue's movements were a little shaky this time, but he finally lifted it up. But just after practicing the strength, I have the strength of 1,000 caddies. It is indeed a natural divine power, but when Fang Hu saw this scene, he couldn't help but admire. After all, that genius from Xianxia County was nothing more than that when he had perfected his abilities, although the time taken by the other party was 5 days shorter than Fang Yue's. Chapter 30 Qualification and Talent. You are listening at novelfull.audio. This kind of talent is ranked high even in the current White Tiger boxing gym. Perhaps within 10 years, he can practice to the level of Yi-Sui, skin grinding, bone forging, Yi-Sui. These 3 levels are more difficult than the other. Not only do they have to compete in talent and qualifications, but they also need to compete in resources. In the strength training stage, the little White Tiger decoction for the practice of standing practice is the bowl of medicinal tea that Fang Yue drank. Single bowl costs 2 taels of silver. If it weren't for Fang Yu's continuous supply, it would be impossible for Fang Yue to practice the whole strength in these 10 days, because, without the assistance of medicine, it is impossible for a person to continuously practice standing practice every day. Every time you practice, you develop your body's potential, and the consumption of the body is naturally huge. After all, strength cannot be generated out of thin air. Since the strength has increased, it must consume a huge amount of energy. Therefore, if the matching decoction and medicinal tea cannot be guaranteed, it will definitely slow down the speed of practice. When it comes to skin grinding, another kind of secret medicine is needed to be applied to the skin during practice. This secret medicine is more expensive, and the prescription is in the hands of his master. He can't mix it by himself, so he can only buy it from the White Tiger Boxing Gym. A jar of secret medicine is 50 taels of silver. Apply it every day. And it can only be used for 15 days, which is 100 taels of silver a month. As for the 2 levels of bone forging and marrow change, of course, there are other secret medicines, which are more expensive. If you don't have a strong family fortune, the speed of practice will naturally be slowed down. Of course, in fact, if you can pass the martial arts examination, then the court will provide a secret medicine for free every month, which is one of the reasons why martial arts practitioners want to pass the martial arts examination. Since you have mastered the whole strength, you can start practicing White Tiger Fist from tomorrow. Yes, master. Fang Yue said respectfully. The next day, Fang Yue asked Fang Ergu and Zhang Shu to go outside, and he brought Fang Yue into the house. You have already mastered the whole strength, and the standing practice is also considered to be perfect. You only need to keep honing it in the future, and your strength should continue to grow. However, this is all time-consuming. Now that you have enough strength and your physique is naturally up to standard, it is time to practice the White Tiger Fist. Fang Yue glanced at Fang Yue, feeling a little emotional. The potential of this disciple he accepted is greater than he thought. He is much stronger than his son. When facing the giant tiger on the way back, he was able to give the chance of escape to Zhang Shu. This kind of person will definitely not treat his son badly when the time comes, so, it is not a loss to accept this disciple. After all, his son's talent is definitely not enough to complete the bone forging before the age of 25, so naturally he cannot participate in the martial arts examination. Although my White Tiger Fist is not considered a very high-level inheritance in Xianxia County, you know that in terms of the number of disciples, the White Tiger Fist can be ranked in the top 3. Do you know why? Of course, it is because the poor are good at literature and the rich are good at martial arts. Practicing boxing is much more economical than practicing swords and the like. Fang Yue said slowly. Practicing martial arts is very expensive. Just the White Tiger decoction needed for practicing Zhuanggong cost dozens of taels of silver according to Fang Yu's dosage. For ordinary farmers, these silver taels are enough to bankrupt their families, and this is because Fang Yu's qualifications are good enough and the time he spent is short. If he were to change to someone with worse qualifications, the silver money he would need to spend would probably increase exponentially. So, although people with middle and lower qualifications can practice, there is basically no one who will accept disciples with such qualifications. Boxing, although it is a little worse than swords and fighting, but it saves money when practicing, and is most suitable for people with limited family background. Okay, I will teach you the practice of the White Tiger Fist in the skin grinding stage now. You pay attention. Fang Yue said, and immediately began to practice. Although he did not use much strength, the White Tiger Fist is a real martial art after all, and Fang Yue is also a martial arts master who has begun to change his marrow. Every move he made had a force of 2,000 or 3,000 pounds, and the air made a crackling sound under the fist wind, and Fang Yue seemed to have turned into a real tiger, fierce and explosive. After a quarter of an hour, Fang Yue practiced 3 times before stopping. You start practicing now. Fang Yue said in a light tone. Then Fang Yue followed Fang Yu's movements and began to practice, and after another 3 times, Fang Yue asked Fang Yue to practice by himself, and he watched and corrected from the side, until Fang Yu's movements were in place, and the practice formulas and the use of strength were no longer missed. He finally let Fang Yue stop. Okay, that's all for today. You don't need to come for the next few days. I'm going to go hunting in the mountains. You continue to stand still every day and practice boxing. As for grinding the skin, wait until the strength reaches the level of pure boxing. Through observation during this period of time, Fang Yue is very confident in Fang Yue's self-consciousness. There is no need to keep an eye on him all the time. Besides, this time he went to Xianxia County to purchase. He used up all the fur, animal bones, and herbs he had accumulated before. Now with Fang Yue and Zhang Shu, there are a lot more herbs to prepare. Naturally, he has to go hunting in the mountains to replenish them. Yes, master. Fang Yue nodded and thanked Fang Yue respectfully. He was able to practice martial arts because the other party paid a lot. During this period of time alone, he consumed a lot of food and meat. If converted into silver, it is equivalent to the annual food ration for an ordinary farmer. Fang Yue paid so much for him, so he naturally respected Fang Yue. Why be so polite? Go back today. Fang Yue waved his hand and sent Fang Yue away. Back home, Fang Yue entered his room. At this time, his elder brother Fang Cheng had not returned. He closed the door and focused his mind on the present. In front of his eyes, words suddenly appeared: Kung Fu, White Tiger Fist, Skin Grinding, Rough, Qualification, 123, 1 in 100, Note, 10 points of qualification can be consumed to condense the talent of primary boxing proficiency. Fang Yue looked at the words in front of him, and his mind turned. Today, after he had mastered the White Tiger Fist, these lines of words appeared in front of him, but at that time he was at Fang Yue's house, so he naturally couldn't check them carefully. Now that he is back home, he naturally doesn't have to worry about it. This golden finger is really not simple, it can actually change like this. Originally, he thought that his golden finger could only increase aptitude, but he didn't expect that he could also use aptitude points to condense talent, so, the golden finger condenses talent according to the practice method. Practicing boxing can condense the talent of boxing proficiency, so practicing other martial arts can also condense other talents. It just needs to consume aptitude points, which makes Fang Yue a little hesitant. But soon, Fang Yue made up his mind. Just give it a try, it's just 10 aptitude points.